Hello everyone, welcome to Arka Astro Science. So today in this content I will be talking about the monthly horoscope for the month of July 2025. This month we have got so many transits, and yes, planets are also turning retrograde this month in the month of July. So if we combine the impact of the planetary transits, retrograde motion, so it's a very dynamic month. And if I add the word turbulence, it is even more turbulent than the month of June. So many things are going to happen, particularly depending upon certain areas of our life are going to get impacted. And if I add one disclaimer, please understand one thing: the month of July is going to be very dynamic, very volatile, very turbulent, even more turbulent than the month of June. There are certain things which are going to happen during this particular month because of the transit and planetary energies, which will induce certain events all over the world, be it mundane events, be it in our personal lives also. So certain things are good, but certain things are really turbulent. So it will definitely impact us, and the magnitude of the impact will depend upon our own horoscope, our own dasa sequence. If we are running through some good dasas, if the planets are well placed, and if any negative, or I will say if any malefic planet are not transiting over the planets in which the dasa we are running, then the impact may be less. Or if the planets are transiting in some good houses, then yes, definitely we will get some good results. But in certain cases, I will say, otherwise the results can be completely adverse. So this disclaimer will be highly essential, because while I say regarding all the 12 ascendant signs, many times it happens that people may feel that, okay, oh, so much negative things are happening, why it is so. See, it is not the matter of fear mongering, it is about to understand and accept the things as it is. Because in the month of June so much things has happened, it was just a start. In the month of July, if I talk about the retrograde season, then the first I will talk about Saturn, the retrogression of Saturn, which is going to happen on 13th of July. And most important thing here is that in this month, you will see that Mars and Ketu is also coming very close to each other. Very volatile, very explosive, very fiery, in the fiery sign of Leo. If you are new to this channel, tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon, so that every time I make a new content, you get notified instantly. And if you want a consultation from me, check the links down in the description section. You can mail me through my email ID, or you can get connected with me through my Facebook or Instagram accounts. Now you see, you have to understand one thing. If I start with Sun, at this point of time, Sun is transiting in the sign of Gemini in conjunction with Jupiter. Sun will change the sign on 16th of July. It will leave Gemini and it will enter the sign of Cancer on 16th of July. Mercury is transiting in the sign of Cancer right now. On 18th of July, Mercury will turn retrograde in the sign of Cancer, and it will also be in conjunction with Sun during that particular time. So Mercury will give its result from Cancer. It will also give its result from its previous sign, Gemini. Okay. If I talk about Saturn, Saturn is transiting in Pisces. Starting from 7th of July onwards, the motion of Saturn will be gradually slowing down. The motion will decline. A time will come when it will turn completely stationary. That is particularly like 9th of July, 10th of July, 11th of July, 12th of July, and on 13th of July, Saturn turns retrograde. This becomes very important because Saturn will be giving its result from Pisces, and it will also be giving its result from its previous sign, Aquarius, where Rahu is transiting. And just opposite to Aquarius, we have Leo, where Mars and Ketu is transiting. And in this month, Mars and Ketu will come very close to each other as the days goes by. That will be I will be giving you some time period, that is starting from 15th of July to 25th of July. That is the span of 10 and 11 days, 10 or 11 days, something like that. Very volatile. That will be the time when Mars will come close to Ketu, cross Ketu. Okay, because Ketu will be inherently, it is a retrograde planet. Okay, so they both will cross each other starting from 15th of July onwards to 25th of July. Mars will stay in the sign of Leo until 28th of July. Then it will leave Leo and it will enter the sign of Virgo. If I talk about Venus, starting from the month of July, Venus will be in the sign of Taurus. It has entered the sign of Taurus, and it will be in the sign of Taurus until 26th of July. After 26th of July, Venus comes out of Taurus. It enters the sign of Gemini, where it gets connected and conjunct with Jupiter. So these are certain transits which are actually happening. And retrograde motion, if I talk about, then it is Mercury and Saturn. And the volatile part, the things which are turning it to be more turbulent, that is the Leo Aquarius axis. Leo Aquarius axis is turning out to be very energetic, very fiery, and yes, it is like very volatile, because Aquarius is a fire airy sign, Leo is a fiery sign, so it is like fire and air, that particular axis, where Mars and Ketu getting conjunct in Leo, and Rahu is in Aquarius, and Saturn by its retrograde motion will be impacting Rahu and the sign of Aquarius, as if Saturn is placed in Aquarius, as if it will behave like that. So wheresoever that axis lies in your chart, that is Leo Aquarius, wheresoever it lies in your chart, those part of your life, those sectors of your life will get impacted. And that is the reason I gave the disclaimer that when you go through the charts, when you go through the reading, you must understand that this kind of combinations, this kind of transits are rare. They don't happen every time, but when they happen, they have their own energies. We have seen all over the world many events had already occurred in the month of June, only by the fact that Mars entered Leo, Ketu entered Leo, they got conjunct, and many things were happening all over the world, be it war, be it the airplane crash, or be it some fire incident, be it some riots, be it some other kind of things. Okay, many things were happening. Now when Saturn turns retrograde and Mars and Ketu comes very close to each other, this is something to be understood very closely, particularly with regards to the whole world. Last month when I made the content for the transit of Mars, I said that Mars Ketu conjunction is happening in the 4th house of the national horoscope of India. Mars Ketu conjunction, because Leo sign is the 4th house of the national horoscope of India. I said that certain combinations are there, but many combinations were not satisfying a war. That is the reason month of June India didn't go into any kind of war-like situation. But I said, since it is the 4th house, and 4th house is also motherland, 4th house is also the common people. Okay, so I said there can be damages, there can be disruptions, there can be fire incidents, there can be other natural disasters. Okay, I said that. But month of July, what is happening? Saturn, by its retrograde motion, will impact the sign of Aquarius. Now, what is Aquarius? Aquarius becomes the 10th house of the national horoscope of India, which is 10th house is government. Okay, 4th house is motherland. So this will be the time where there can be some pressure on government, or government can take some actions. Okay, so now why will government take some actions? Can we understand by this fact that certain things are going to happen in the month of July, where government is forced to take some actions? Now that can be related to war, that can be related to other things. It can be some damages. I will not go more into details, because this is really something to be understood. Okay, with respect to the modern part, but I will say that this is not going to be very easy, particularly the month of July, starting from after Saturn turns retrograde, but more from 15th of July to 25th of July. That will be the part. Actually, the whole month of July is very volatile. Okay, now you can understand that the countries who were already in some kind of war, who were already in some kind of volatile situation, for them this particular conjunction or this particular retrograde motion is going to be more turbulent, more dynamic. Okay, there can be multiple countries, more than other countries can also get involved in certain kind of situations. Okay, so you have to understand that these combinations and transits are rare. These are they don't happen every now and then. So that is the reason when they happen, they have their own energies. So it is not a part of fear mongering. It is the thing that we should understand, that if it is occurring in the mundane level, it can also impact us in our own personal lives also, depending upon in which particular axis Leo and Aquarius lies in our horoscope, which dasas we are running through, which planets are placed in Leo, which planets are placed in Aquarius. Are we going through such kind of dasas? Like suppose you have a planet in Leo and you are running through the dasa of Leo, and Mars and Ketu is conjunction happening over that planet. Okay, so we have to understand that it will depend upon horoscope to horoscope, native to native. Impact will be there, but there can be magnitude. The magnitude of impact will vary. Okay, so now we will start for all the 12 ascendant signs. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, press the like button and share to your near and dear ones, and your comments are also welcome. And I have said before also, if you are new to this channel, tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon, so that every time I make a new content, you get notified instantly. And for any consultation, check the links down in the description section. You can mail me through my email ID, or you can get connected with me through my Facebook or Instagram account. So come, let us start for all the 12 ascendant signs, that is starting from the Aries ascendant. Let us start. For the Aries ascendant people, your ascendant lord Mars is transiting in conjunction with Ketu in the sign of Leo in your 5th house. In the month of July, as the days goes on, Mars and Ketu will come very close to each other, and this conjunction is a very fiery and explosive conjunction. Leo itself is a fiery sign. So this will increase the impulsive behavior, ego clashes, anger issues. In your day-to-day life, you will see that your decision making is completely based on your impulsive behavior. That out of your ego, you take a decision, and you are not thinking about the outcomes. See, at the positive side, this will increase your passion, your creativity, but yes, it needs to be backed by proper wisdom. It should not be scattered. There can be indecisiveness because of the presence of Ketu. The ego classes can directly hamper the bonding between you and your loved ones, particularly with respect to love relationships. Passionate bonding will increase, but heightened energy can also lead to sudden events, like it can lead to breakups, separation, ego classes. You will see that with respect to your self development, independent living, freedom living, and following your creative sales skills, this particular conjunction is very good. But when it comes to making a proper bonding with your loved ones, in that particular case, this conjunction will create some kind of hurdles. Now, since it is the 5th house, which relates to joy and pleasure of your life, here I will say that try to scatter your creative energy, your self expression in proper way, that it should not hamper your own mental level also, because there can be anger issues, there can be anxiety, there can be stress. Okay, particularly why I'm saying, because Saturn will turn retrograde on 13th of July. Saturn will turn retrograde, so it will give its result from its previous sign Aquarius, where Rahu is transiting. So there can be some clashes between you and your team members, your working like your working colleagues, or the people with whom you work, or between you and your business partners, particularly anyone who is senior to you, any senior colleague. There can also be conflicts or misunderstanding between you and your friend circle, your social environment. During this particular time, I will also advise that you should be very careful regarding how you take care regarding your children. Do not get too much strict or too much disciplined, and because that too much discipline and too much that anger and impulsive behavior can actually hamper the mental well-being of your children. This needs to be very carefully taken care of. um, One more thing, adhere to hard work. Don't get into any kind of shortcuts. Particularly, don't try to invest in any matter related to speculation or speculative business. There can be losses, there can be setbacks, financial setbacks. Anything which is related to like chances, gambling, or something like that, try to avoid it completely, I would say. Just follow the hard work, because Saturn's retrogression will be highly beneficial for the people who are expecting some opportunity in job and career, who are expecting some job change. There are people who are working particularly any kind of service or job or any kind of business. Now since Saturn was in the sign of Pisces, so there was some kind of slowness, there was some kind of decrease in the flow of work. Now you will see that after 13th of July onwards, slowly and gradually you will regain your energy, you will regain uh, your zeal, your will to follow the work in proper methodology. So this is highly beneficial for the people who really wants to do their work through hard work, through discipline, through patience. Now since Rahu is transiting in the sign of Aquarius, I will particularly say that uh, you should choose the group of people with whom you want to expand your social environment with. You should not trust everyone, and also make sure that you own self don't betray anyone, because Saturn is retrograde. So, and it is not a retrograde for 1 day or 2 day, it will go on, correct? So Saturn will be watching each and everything. So it is a very good time to retrospect and introspect your own will and action. One good thing here is that Venus, right from the start of the month of July, Venus will be transiting in the sign of Taurus in your second house. So, at the personal level, Venus is managing many things, and Taurus is a earthy sign, it brings stability. So, at the personal level, you will see that the life is quite good. Everything is good among you and your family members. Financial decisions will be sorted out, particularly the people who are in any kind of business, financial business, or anything which relates to money, clothing, restaurant business, okay, food or nutrition, anything it can be, fashion. In those kind of work, you will see that the people who are associated directly or indirectly, they will be getting good news regarding their work. This is also very good time to purchase any expensive material or any jewelry or something like that, or suppose any kind of material you want to purchase which you really need for your home, for your family, which is related to luxury, comforts, or anything which you wanted to have in your life for a long time. But now this is the good time, because Saturn is also retrograde, so Saturn will give more result from the 11th house. Okay, so its influence on the second house will somehow get reduced by its third aspect. Okay, although it will be aspecting, but somehow it will be giving results more from the 11th house. So this is a very good time for that. One more thing is that Jupiter's transit along with Sun in the third house, this also indicates that you will get success in your work, career, or any kind of projects, particularly the people who are any kind of business owner or someone starting their work of their own. So it is very good time for them that you start any work and you get good knowledge, you get social expansion, social environment, and you also get support from them, and you start your work and you get success from that. There is a change of energy on the 16th of July. Sun is transiting in your fourth house. Now that will be the time when your full focus will be towards your domestic um matters, because you will see that after 16th of July, although there will be work related expansion more, you will be more focused towards work, but you will see that something or the other is happening at the domestic matters which needs your attention more. This is uh, more to understand, because Mercury will also turn retrograde on 18th of July. So 16th Sun enters Cancer, 18th Mercury turns retrograde on in the zodiac sign of Cancer. So this will be a time you will see that there should be proper management of bonding between you and your any kind of person living in your domestic environment, particularly the family members, your close members. Okay, so not everything needs your attention, because each and everything you get into that can lead to anxiety, that can lead to anger issues. Okay, so you just need to focus on the primary things, essential things. Prioritize your attention, prioritize your focus. Okay, the people who are expecting any kind of relocation, job transfer, or any kind of movement, like someone is thinking to move to one place to another, or any kind of short travels, they have been waiting for a good time after the retrogression of Mercury on 18th of July. After that, for those people it will be highly beneficial. Okay, this will also calm down their hyperactive energy regarding their mind is concerned. Okay, so if they are wanting some kind of relocation or transfer, then that will be a good time when they might get some kind of opportunity. Not that will depend upon the dasa also, but those opportunities may suddenly come. But I will definitely say that you should be very careful regarding any matter related to your home, particularly someone associated with landed properties, agriculture, real estate, or it can be interior designing, someone working in those sectors. Okay, because of the influence of mercury and saturn, mercury and sun. Okay, so there can be some delays in work, some kind of misunderstanding. Okay, particularly at your work level also I'm talking about, because sun and mercury will be aspecting your 10th house. Okay, so these are the things needs to be taken care of for the Aries ascendant people. For the Taurus ascendant people, Venus is transiting in your first house. It is your Lagna Lord. It is your first Lord, and I will say right from the starting of the month of July, Venus's transit in the first house is highly beneficial because it will improve your aura, it will improve your charisma, and you will be highly appreciated among the people in and around you, and it will also bring stability in your life because Taurus is the sign which refers to stability. It is a fixed sign, it is an earthy sign. Okay, so you will see it will bring a proper control in your life. So this will also bring opportunity related to your business, related to your job, your career, and if you are connected with any kind of person related to partnership, now that can be professional, that can be personal, you will see that it will bring some kind of proper solution, resolution, and any past issues will be resolved. So it is a very good transit, I will say. Someone is searching for any kind of job opportunity or change of career, job, service related field. For them also this transit of Venus is highly beneficial because Venus happens to be your sixth lord also. So you will see that you are getting any kind of issues regarding any kind of rivalry or any kind of competition, you will see that those issues are getting resolved. So it is a good transit, I will say. Sun and Jupiter will be transiting in your second house. Now, any person who is associated with financial markets or anything related to money management, financial management, or agriculture, landed properties, buying and selling of properties. Okay, for them, this transit of Sun and Jupiter in the second house will be highly beneficial. Particularly, someone who wants to sell or purchase any kind of related things related to properties, land, real estate. Okay, so for them it is very good. This is a very good time for purchasing any kind of like highly expensive items, like it can be gold, jewelry. Okay, or anything which can improve the overall environment at your house, at your family. Okay, family environment, like it can be any kind of decoration, it can be anything which brings luxury comforts. For that purpose also some kind of investments or expenditures may be done, which can be seen right now. But since sun is a very hot and bright planet, it also indicates that out of your ego, out of your high moral values, you do some expenditures which may be avoided, which may be ignored. Okay, but all of a sudden out of your ego you did it, so that should be taken care of. And speech might get harsh, speech might get rude, so listener uh, might feel bad that you are saying something out of your ego. So the speech and communication has to be taken care of during this particular transit. Although mercury will be transiting in your third house, which is a good thing, so it will improve your social communication, particularly for the people who are associated with any kind of work, business, or job related to connecting with multiple people. Now that can be, someone can be orator, someone can be a teacher, student, someone can be an intellectual, social media, like someone working in a social media, it can be a blogger, or it can be a video blogger also, means anything related to where you need to connect with people, multiple people. Okay, for them this transit of mercury is very good. Someone associated with any kind of work related to tours and travels. Okay, or it can be related to like someone is doing any work where they need to deliver food or food items, okay, from one place to another. So for them also this transit of mercury is very beneficial, highly beneficial. But mercury will turn retrograde on 18th of July in the sign of cancer in your third house. Sun, which is transiting right now in your second house, will transit into the sign of Cancer in your third house on 16th of July. So basically, Sun's transit is happening on 16th, and Mercury is turning retrograde on 18th. So uh, in a span of 2-3 days, these things are happening. So during that particular time, I will say that Sun's transit is highly beneficial in your third house, because it indicates overall success, particularly for the people who are associated with any kind of entrepreneurship, or someone working in a project, or they want to start any new kind of hobby, a new kind of work. So it indicates success, it indicates new energy, new zeal, new willpower. Okay, it is said normally that Sun transit in the third house, or those who are having Sun in the third house, they are always very focused, very positive minded. So they hardly will face any kind of negativity within their mind. So they are always very brave, that okay, this is the task, this is the challenge, and I will focus it, I will just do it. Okay, but Mercury will retrograde. So after 18th of July, I will say that particularly related to money. Because why money? Because Mercury is your second lord, so it is related to money, investments, financial management. Okay, sale and purchase of anything, or any sale and purchase papers, particularly the court papers, I will say. Okay, why court papers? Because Venus is transiting in your first house, so you need to be very careful regarding that. So court papers, so anything related to loan, and it can be money related things, so you need to be very careful. Or anything which you say around many people, around social media, has also be taken to be taken care of. Okay, now Saturn is transiting in your 11th house, which is a very good transit, I will say. But Saturn is turning retrograde on 13th of July, and starting from 7th of July on itself, you will see that Saturn's motion is turning stationary, and after 13th of July, it is turning retrograde. So what will happen? It will give its result from its 11th house also, and from 10th house also, because of its impact of retrograde motion from the previous sign. It will give its result from the previous sign, which happens to be the sign of Aquarius, that is the 10th house where Rahu is transiting. Okay, so this indicates that you will see that maybe you might be expecting some appreciation, you might be expecting some promotion or something like that. So all of a sudden what happens, that your work goes into scrutiny, your work goes into some kind of inspection. So what happens, that now your superiors and authorities are asking for more responsibilities, they are asking that this work needs to be done again. Okay, so you will feel that all of a sudden something more responsibility is coming on your shoulder, and you need to do more hard work. Okay, during this particular time, you need to be very careful, because Mars and Ketu is also transiting in your fourth house. So there can be a direct conflict or opposition with you and your authorities, your superiors. So during this particular time, you need to also be very careful regarding maintaining proper law, ethics, okay, proper justice, because this can also indicate that if suppose you get into any kind of unlawful activities or unrighteous activities, this can lead to some kind of penalty, or you might be under some kind of action related to government. Okay, so these are the things can be seen. Now this will depend upon the dasa and the planetary structures in your own personal horoscope, because the magnitude of the results will differ from person to person, but the transit indicates this kind of thing. Now suppose you are indicating you are expecting any appraisal or promotion from long term, like suppose you are doing a hard work, you are doing a hard work, but you are not getting the results from last many few years, and you are suppose running through any favorable dasa, then the same Saturn retrograde can also bring some appraisals for you. Okay, it will depend upon the dasa also, that will give the results. Okay, now if I particularly talk about Mars and Ketu, in the month of July, Mars and Ketu will come very close to each other as the days goes by. Okay, and it's a very explosive transit, and it is happening in the house of happiness, fourth house, that is happiness, home. So you will see at home there will be anxiety, there will be any scenario where you are not happy, or there can be situation where your expectations are not fulfilled regarding your happiness. So there can be also movement, there can be relocation. You might feel that I am not getting the good space, time and space at my place, so let me just relocate. Now this also indicates that your job might get changed, or there can be conflict at your work, there can be conflict with regards to your job, career, and business. So certain all of a sudden there can be setbacks can be seen, or there can be relocation or job transfers. Okay, so during this particular time I will say that change of job can also be seen during this particular time. The present job scenario might get suffered, and since it is a time period which will keep on going on, because even after Mars changes the sign on 28th of July, Mars will go on to your fifth house. From the fifth house, Mars will aspect retrograde Saturn. So the things are not changing overnight. Okay, so during this is the only thing which will starting from this particular month itself. It was not the scenario in June. It was the means although Mars and Ketu conjunction happened in the month of June, but July is really turbulent. So these are the things which needs to be taken care of. And since Mars and Saturn both will aspect your seventh house, so your ability to bind with new people, bond with your closed ones will also get hampered. So you will see there can be lots of conflicts, fights, arguments, disagreements, even with normal people also. So you need to be very careful regarding that. Okay, so that's it for the Taurus ascendant people. For the Gemini ascendant people, Sun and Jupiter is transiting in the first house. I will say that it is a good conjunction going on. It is a good transit. So this indicates that whatever work you are starting, you will be able to complete that work. There will be rise of energy. There will be rise of passion within you. There can be short travels, and you will be very passionate, energetic regarding your work. So this also indicates that any kind of work which had not been done yet, you will feel too much energy to follow it. This is a very good time for self development, independent living, and also working on your mistakes. This is a very good time. But this transit of Sun and Jupiter, and they will be aspecting the seventh house, there can also be some kind of conflicts between you and your partner during this particular transit. So, particularly ego classes. Okay, now since Jupiter is also there, so yes, those ego classes will be taken care of properly with proper wisdom, with proper discussion and conversations. Okay, but initially there can be ego classes. Mercury is transiting in your second house. This Mercury is transit in the second house is good, but on 16th Sun enters your second house, and on 18th Mercury turns retrograde. So second house will be very much activated, particularly after 16th of July. That is Sun's transit and Mercury retrogression in consecutive days, that is 16th and 18th July respectively. So that will be a time you will see that you need to be very focused regarding your expenditures, your financial goals. Don't make any financial decisions all of a sudden. It should be properly backed by your wisdom. Okay, and you will also see that on many matters you are not getting along with your family values. On many matters you will see that there can be clashes between your own ethics and your family values, or any matter related to or any instruction given to you related to your elders or family members. Okay, so there can be conflicts regarding that. So I would say that focus on your proper ethics, proper wisdom, and do the right things. Okay, that will be highly beneficial. And don't make any financial decisions only because you need to do it. Just make sure that it is in your priority or not. Do proper homework and then go ahead. Venus will be transiting in your 12th house right from the beginning of the month of July. And Venus is transit in the 12th house. Since Venus is a natural benefic planet, any natural benefic planet transiting in the 12th house, the results are normally good because it brings luxury, comforts, it brings healing. Someone who is suffering from any kind of illness, here Venus will heal them. Here Venus will bring proper healing qualities within them. Okay, so this transit in that case it is very good, particularly the people who are in any kind of isolation or any kind of work where they need to work solely alone or in their independent skill. So for them also this transit of Venus is very good. But Venus also indicates liquid cash, liquid money, so this also indicates there can be expenditures. Now, what kind of expenditures? Like suppose you want to improve your creative skills, you want to express something through your passion, through your creativity. So for them you need to do some expenditures, for them you need to buy something, you need to imply something in your life, in your day-to-day life. So that kind of expenditures can be there. Only make sure that you don't get into any kind of expenditures which are not meant to be done. Okay, so Venus here will make sure that you follow your creative skills properly in proper isolated manner. So this will be a time where you can move to some faraway place. Okay, some spiritual outing, and it will also make you very spiritual. So spiritual studies and connecting with spiritual communities is also beneficial during this particular time. Saturn is transiting in your 10th house. So last 2 months you have been seeing that Saturn, since it is in the sign of Pisces, so you will see that lots of responsibilities will be coming on your shoulder. Okay, and you have to do it. You have to perform it. So the people who are expecting some kind of transfer, some kind of job change, or who are expecting some good opportunities in their life with respect to job is concerned, for them the retrograde motion of Saturn will be highly beneficial, particularly after 13th of July when Saturn turns retrograde in your 10th house. The people who are expecting some kind of job change or transfer or movement to some faraway place. Okay, so for them, change of job is seen. But for other people who are in any kind of job responsibility or any kind of projects where they need to follow their work hard, for them I will say that this transit of Saturn in the retrograde motion will bring extra responsibilities. So this will be a time where you need to be more focused, because retrograde motion of Saturn might deviate you, might distract you. You might get distracted in some other walks of life which might impact your work. Okay, so you must retrospect and introspect that what are the things which needs to be taken care of. This also indicates some kind of professional studies. Yes, like suppose in order to perform your work properly, you need to learn new things, you need to educate yourself, you need to improve your skill set. So this retrograde motion of Saturn is also beneficial in order to gain new skill sets. So if you work on those things, you are definitely going to get very good results. Okay, I can also see some religious discourses, some spiritual um, journeys. Okay, moving to some new places, and particularly for the people who are into any kind of higher studies, for them this retrograde motion of Saturn is highly beneficial. It will really give very good results. Okay, one more thing is that I can see that some kind of um, extra responsibility towards home or elders of family, or regarding father. There can be some misunderstanding with father, or there can be some health issues regarding the health of father which needs to be taken care of. And it's really important because in the third house, Mars and Ketu will come very close to each other in the month of July. They are transiting third house. Okay, so your ninth house and third house will get too much importance. Firstly, because of Mars and Ketu in the third house, and secondly, because of Rahu is transiting in the ninth house, and Saturn will retrograde in the 10th house, and it will give results from the ninth house, from the previous sign. So, third house and ninth house, this axis is getting too much importance. Okay. Now, since Mars and Ketu will come very close to each other in the third house, so I will say that some kind of short travels or any kind of movement to some this place to that place, until unless you really require it, don't do it. If it is related to some kind of relocation, if it is related to some kind of job change or higher education, then it is okay. Otherwise, normal short travels should be avoided, particularly when Mars and Ketu conjunction is there. Okay, another thing is that there can be some kind of conflicts or miscommunications, or there can be anger issues. Okay, particularly which will be reflected by your communication, regarding your daily contacts, regarding your neighbors or friends or your siblings, younger siblings particularly. Okay, or younger cousins. Okay, so you need to be very careful regarding that. You don't get any kind of fights, or you don't get into any kind of conflicts. On the positive side, I will say that this is a very good time to start any new kind of work, or anything which requires more research, anything which requires more knowledge, or any kind of work which you have been doing but you are not getting results until now. You just focus in any kind of improvement in skill set, and you then start it. You will see that this month of July, in those kind of work, you are going to get very good results. Okay. um, One more thing is that I will say that during this particular month of July, you will be able to pay off your debts. Okay, you will be able to pay off your debts, but do not take any new loan. Do not take any new debt. Then that will be difficult to pay off. If any old money has been taken, or you are in some kind of debts, try to pay it off. In the month of July, you will be able to focus on those things. Okay, so these are the things which needs to be taken care of for the Gemini ascendant people. For the Cancer ascendant people, Mercury is transiting in your first house. This Mercury transit in the first house will be a very good transit, I will say, particularly until 18th of July, when Mercury will turn retrograde. But initially, the energy of Mercury in the first house will be very good, because it will bring a new learning, new teachings in your life, and you will be also very much spiritually inclined in your life. There can also be short travels to some faraway places, okay, or some spiritual journeys, or connecting with spiritual communities. After 18th of July, Mercury turns retrograde. So there can be a time that you need to be very careful regarding your expenditures. There can also be some health issues. Okay, if any health issues are there, that might get relapsed during that particular time. And Sun and Jupiter are transiting in your 12th house. So that will be a time where you need to be careful regarding your health, your expenses, your family matters, okay, health of your children. Spiritually, it is a very good transit, but if I talk about materialistic living, there can be expenditures, and particularly regarding work, I will say that there can be some kind of laziness or lethargy. Okay, eye troubles can be seen. On 16th of July, Sun comes to your first house. Sun's transit in the first house will be good for you after 16th of July, because until then, Sun and Jupiter will be transiting in the 12th house. So that transit will be not so good with respect to materialistic gains are concerned. But after Sun comes to your first house, that will be highly good for your health. It will also allow you to be more focused regarding your materialistic living, your finances, your wealth, because when you are doing work, when you are doing hard work, definitely you are doing the hard work in order to earn something, in order to take care of your family, take care of your own life, okay, your health, your wealth, your prosperity, correct. So that transit of Sun in the first house will be highly beneficial for you with those respects. Now, when I talk about your independent living, the Sun's transit and Mercury transit is okay, but they will be aspecting your seventh house, your partner, your partnership, your relationship, your how you bind and bond with other people. Okay, so that might suffer. So there can be ego classes, there can be misunderstanding and conflicts. So how you connect with other people regarding that, it should be taken care of, particularly regarding your friends, your close peoples, your daily contacts. Okay, the people who are in your day-to-day life, you are connecting with your younger siblings. So for regarding them also, I would say there can be some kind of conflicts, misunderstanding. Venus transit is very good. Venus is transiting in the sign of Taurus in your 11th house, and right from the month, starting of the month of July, Venus will be in the sign of Taurus. So Venus's transit is very good. It will bring new opportunity at your work, at your business, particularly the people who are in any kind of work related to clothing, apparels, restaurant, food, nutrition, okay, finances, money market or something like that. So for them, Venus's transit is very good. Venus will be aspecting your fifth house, so this is also very good with respect to love and romantic relationships. So you might also get along with your partner very well during this particular time, particularly with respect to love and romantic relationship, I will say. Okay, and if you really take care of your ego classes, then the bonding between you and your partner will be really good. Mars and Ketu will be transiting in your second house, and Mars and Ketu will come very close to each other as the days goes by in the month of July. and it's a very fiery sign. It's a very explosive combination, that is the sign of Leo, and this Mars Ketu combination in the second house in the sign of Leo. So there can be some problems with the family members, understanding issues, understanding problems, okay, indifferences, some expenditures, some out of ego, out of impulse, and you do some expenditures. So I will say that stay away from any kind of speculative work, okay, any kind of speculation, just stay away from that. Take care regarding your health, because Mars is a very fiery planet, okay, so there can be heat related problems regarding your health, okay. Eye, take care regarding eye, the eye, there can be eye troubles, okay. And make sure that you don't get too much disciplined and too much strict regarding your children, because it might impact their mental well-being. One more thing here I will attach is that Saturn will turn retrograde on 13th of July, and Saturn will be transiting in your ninth house, but it will give its result from its 8th house also, means from your 8th house also, because of the retrograde motion. So sudden events all of a sudden, means you will see that some health issues all of a sudden starting. There can be understanding issues between you and your in-laws, or any matter related to your shared resources, shared assets, okay, joint assets, and your fixed assets also, particularly your savings also. All those matters need to be taken care of, okay. Again I will say, don't get into any kind of speculative business or speculative work. Don't invest in those matters, okay. Take care regarding the health of your father. Ninth house will be afflicted, so take care regarding the health of your father. And yes, there can be misunderstanding between you and your father also. So make sure that it should not get too much that it impacts the love and bonding between you and your father, okay, particularly between you and your guru also, okay. So make sure that you have proper love and respect, and also take care regarding their health. So that's it for the Cancer ascendant people. For the Leo ascendant people, Mars and Ketu is transiting in the first house itself. In one side, if I say, since Mars is the yoga karaka for the Leo ascendant people, and it is in the first house in the sign of Leo, it is highly beneficial for the people who want to improve themselves, increase their skill set, improve their creative energy, their passion towards their work, or want to learn new things, want to make them more better in their life. For them it is very good. But since it is also along with Ketu, this will also heighten their anxiety, their energy levels, impulsive behavior. There can be anger issues, there can also be any kind of health issues related to heat. There, like, it can be fever, or it can be anything means related to heat, okay. So don't take any impulsive behavior only because you wanted to do it, because of your ego. It will impact the bonding between you and your partner, because Mars will aspect your 7th house, your 8th house, your 4th house. So it will impact your domestic well-being also, okay. So make sure that you maintain these things properly. And since Ketu is also there, so you will see that there can be indecisiveness also, that out of nowhere you take a decision, you feel that okay, you are doing it good, but you take a decision and later on you suffer. Later on you feel that oh, you shouldn't have taken those kind of decisions in your day-to-day life, okay, because only because of you wanted to take it, you take it, you have taken it, okay. Now that can be related to your work, that can be related to your relationship also. There can be sudden events, I would say. There can be particularly in love relationships, I would say that there can be breakup, okay, because Ketu and Mars will come very close to each other. There can be separative tendencies also, and this is also understood because of Saturn retrograde. Saturn will retrograde on 13th of July in your 8th house, and because of the retrograde motion, it will give its result from the 7th house also. So your 7th house and first house is getting activated more. So responsibility, conservativeness, there can be coldness between you and your partner, okay. So you have to understand him or her more, and then take the decisions. impulsive way if you think, then there can be problems in bonding between you and your partner. Okay. Expenditures, sudden expenditures are seen. Okay, particularly problem related to shared assets, or you can say um, any kind of resources like joint resources. Particularly, I would say um, movement to some foreign places is also seen, but uh, journeys can be wearisome. You might get too much exhausted because of the journeys. Some faraway places, long distance journeys are seen. Okay. Mercury will be transiting in your 12th house. So, and Mercury will be retrograde also this month in the on 18th of July. But before that, Mercury, since it is in the 12th house, so there can be misunderstanding between you and any people whom you are connecting with. Okay, particularly your family members, particularly your team members with whom you work, your colleagues, your seniors, okay, at work. So there can be misunderstanding since Mercury is in the 12th house. Okay, so make sure that you explain the things to them in a proper manner. Don't expect that they will understand. They will not understand because Mercury is in the 12th house. So that can lead to conflict and misunderstanding, indifferences. You will feel that why people are not understanding you. Okay, so be very descriptive regarding anything you want to explain to them. So one of the best way to remove the arguments is that your conversation should be very descriptive. Sun and Jupiter will be transiting in the 11th house, which is very good, which will actually bring opportunities at your work, which will actually bring good, like I will say, multiple opportunities at your work. That is very good transit, I will say. But Sun will change the sign on 16th of July. It will come into your 12th house. So the people who are going into any kind of health issues, for them it's not to be very careful, particularly eye troubles. Okay. Um, Mercury will be retrograde on 18th of July. Now that Mercury retrograde is good for the Leo ascendant people. Mercury retrograde will be highly good, I will say, because Mercury will give its result from the 11th house also during that particular time. So, anyone wanting to mm, movement regarding their work or change of work or relocation regarding their job or transfer, so for them also it is very good. Okay, particularly new opportunities at their work after 18th of July. Okay, so because of the that retrograde motion of Mercury, it is highly beneficial with respect to work, business, or career. Okay, so that's it for the Leo ascendant people. For the Virgo ascendant people, your ascendant lord Mercury is transiting in the 11th house. It is a very good transit, I will say, because this indicates that whatever work you have been doing, you will be getting appraisal for that. You will be getting good results for that. And the people who are particularly working in any sector related to communication, mass media, and where they need to connect with multiple people, sales and marketing, for them also it is very good transit, I will say. They will be getting very good results. But Mercury will turn retrograde on 18th of July. So that indicates that on certain matters you have to redo your work. You need to also follow the proper instruction of your authorities, of your boss, and then complete the work, and then you will get the good results out of it. Okay, on certain matters. Now, retrogression of Mercury also indicates that there can be change in the methodology of work, or the people who are expecting some kind of job change, or the people who are expecting some kind of appraisals from long term. Okay, for them, they all of a sudden they might get some kind of appraisals. Otherwise, I will say that rise in responsibility with respect to boss and authority is seen, that your work will be totally under scrutiny, your work will be under inspection. So you have to be very careful regarding how you manage your documents, how you represent your data in front of the authorities and superiors. Okay, that will be very essential during this particular time. And Sun and Jupiter is transiting in the 10th house, which is very good, I will say. This will improve your work. This will particularly help you regain your reputation, your fame, name, appraisals with respect to your work and in front of your authorities and superiors, which is a very good transit. I will say Sun and Jupiter in that 10th house, and after 16th of July, Sun will move to the 11th house, which is also a very good transit for Sun, which also indicates gains. So people who are in any kind of business, trade and business, or who are running any kind of enterprise, uh, particularly the people who are in any kind of work related to nutrition, water, or fisheries, landed properties, okay, real estate, for them also the sun's transit in the 11th house is going to be very good. And as soon as Mercury turns retrograde in 18th of July, on 18th of July and onwards, you will see that now results will be automatically, the results will be good. Yes, responsibilities will be increasing, but I will say that work and business will go on properly. Okay, particularly someone who are expecting some kind of job change, for them also it is very good. Only with your boss and superiors, there should be proper maintenance of your data and communication. Otherwise, you will be under some kind of inspection or scrutiny regarding your work. Venus will be transiting in your ninth house, and right from the beginning of the month of July. So I will say that this transit of Venus in the ninth house is very good, because normally it brings prosperity and auspiciousness in your life. You will see that everything becomes very normal, everything becomes very simple, very easy, because your luck will be supporting you. There can be long distance travels, there will be better understanding between you and your father, your guru, your elders of the family. You will be getting good advices from them. So, and this will also improve the bonding between you and your partner. Okay, because Venus represents the partner. Venus also represents the significance of the seventh house. Okay, so there can also be a chance of movement to foreign places or long distance travels, particularly the people who are expecting to start any higher studies or professional studies. For them also, this transit of Venus is highly beneficial. uh, Now let me talk about the other transits like Mars and Ketu and Saturn and Rahu. See, Mars and Ketu is transiting in the 12th house, and I will say that this is a very explosive transit. And particularly in the 12th house, it will impact your subconscious mind. It will impact your sleep, your rest. It will also bring restlessness within you. Okay, means every time you are, means every time you'll feel that you are not getting rest. You are always in some kind of work. So at the mental level also, you are always working. And since it is Mars is your efforts, your energy, you will feel that you are doing too much but you are not getting results out of it. And since it is conjunction with Ketu, so this can also lead to indecisiveness, miscommunication. You will feel that people are not understanding me, and that will increase your anger. There can also be sense of isolation, escapism, okay, separative tendency between you and your partner. Okay, although transit of Venus in the ninth house in the sign of Taurus is very good, which is actually a savior for you. Okay, so make sure that you don't get into any kind of impulsive behavior, and then that can lead to problems between like any kind of ego classes or conflicts between you and your partner. Okay, Saturn is transiting in the seventh house. Now you have to understand that Mars is aspecting seventh house, but Saturn is transiting. So this indicates that uh, first of all, you need to be very careful regarding the responsibilities of your married life, of your relationship, or how you connect with other people. This is particularly for the people who are into any kind of married life or any kind of relationship, be it professional, be it personal, because there can be conflicts, there can be some kind of issues which needs to be resolved. All of a sudden you will see that the problems have started. So take your time and resolve it. Okay, because here Saturn retrograde indicates that now the time has come when you need to resolve it. You should not be keeping it, because it will show up the things, it will come to the surface. Now the people who are not in any kind of partnership or relationship, for them I will say that this is a time when you will see that with whosoever you are connecting with them, you need to have a proper bonding. You should not get into any kind of fights, you should not get into any kind of conflicts. Okay, and make sure that you don't get into impulsive behavior, and you make some kind of like out of your impulsive behavior there will be fights and conflicts and people will judge you. Okay, so this can hamper your fame, this can hamper your name. Okay, so because you will see people will understand you later on that what happened, but initially you will see that your name and fame got disturbed. Okay, Saturn will be giving its result from its your sixth house also because of the retrograde motion. It will be retrograde on 13th of July. So this also implies few things. First of all, the people who are expecting some kind of job change or who are finding a job for long time, for them it is a good transit, the retrograde motion of Saturn. Okay, they will get good opportunity. They will be able to follow the competitive exams or competitive arena more better than before. Okay, they will be able to curb down their rivals, your or enemies, I would say, particularly means they will be getting victory in those kind of sectors. But since Saturn is transiting in this seventh house and getting retrograde, it means that there can be misunderstanding between you and your partner. Depending upon the dasa, the results will vary. If the dasas are unfavorable, then this retrograde motion of Saturn and Mars's impact can really create problems between you and your partner. There can also be separative tendencies also. Okay, so that's it for the Virgo ascendant people. You should follow because certain transits are good, but certain transits are really turbulent. Make the best out of it, I would say. For the Libra ascendant people, Mercury is transiting in your 10th house, and this transit of Mercury in the 10th house will be highly beneficial with regards to your work. It will bring new work opportunity, and you will see that now you are finding more interest to carry forward your work. But Mercury will also turn retrograde this month in the month of July, that is 18th of July. So that will be a time where you can see that you will be able to learn new things with regards to your skill set. So you will be like feeling that certain opportunities are coming in your work where you need to improve your skill set. So the people who are associated with anything related to professional studies or higher studies, for them the retrogression of Mercury will be highly beneficial. You will see that now you will be able to focus more on more details regarding your work, and that will will be highly beneficial for you. There can be long distance travels, there can also be religious discourses, and you might also be able to meet your guru, your preceptor, or any mentor who will be able to help you out. But here one more thing, since Mercury retrogression is happening in the 10th house itself. Okay, so that also indicates that there can also be some kind of miscommunications or some like delays of work or miscommunications, or there can also be some kind of small here and there conflicts between you and your colleagues, your working environment, or even it can be authorities and superiors also, so which needs to be taken care of. Mercury will be aspecting your fourth house, so that indicates that anything related to any work related to landed properties, agriculture, or it can be related to vehicles or interior designing, or anything related to any business which is associated with luxury comforts. With that kind of business, there can be all of a sudden some kind of shortfalls or some kind of delays. Okay, there can also be some kind of miscommunications at your home, at the homely environment, but you don't need to worry since Mercury will be giving its result from its previous sign, that is the ninth house. So slowly and gradually the things will be taken care of. Sun and Jupiter is transiting in your ninth house. I will say it's a very good transit. It will bring more charisma and aura in your life. You will see that now you are getting proper name, fame, and people are recognizing you for your knowledge, for your wisdom. So you are now a problem solver. Okay, so people will approach you for their for the solutions. Okay, so this is a very good transit, I will say, and particularly you will see that this will also bring a good bonding between you and your father, and and you will be able to learn new things from your father, from the elders of the family, and also from your guru and preceptors. There can be some movement, there can be some long distance travels, even for the people who are associated with anything related to foreign travels or tours and travels, or any work where they need to go to some foreign places, long distance travels. In that case also, this transit of sun Jupiter is highly beneficial, particularly looking into the fact that after 18th of July, Mercury will be retrograde, so it will give its result from the ninth house itself also. Okay, from its previous sign, because of the retrograde motion. On 16th of July, Sun is changing the sign. Sun will go into your 10th house, which is also a very good transit, I will say, because this will actually bring more hard working ability within you. Okay, you will be not because you'll see when Mercury will be retrograde, there can be a notion within you that should I continue this work or not, or should I change my methodology. But all of a sudden, when sun comes into the picture in the 10th house, you will see that you are not afraid. You are able to follow the work with proper courage, with proper hard work, and you will see that you are not afraid of the challenges. You will see that this will also bring good reputation between you and your authorities, and you will also get good name, fame. So this is a very good transit for the sun in the 10th house after 16th of July, which is very good transit, I would say. Venus is transiting the whole of the month in the 8th house. Okay, and Venus happens to be a Lagna Lord. So during this particular time, there can be some means the people who are associated in some kind of relationship, particularly personal relationship. Here I'm talking about the married life, or someone who are into any kind of relationship like love relationship. For them, Venus's transit in the 8th house will be highly beneficial. They will be able to know each other more better. Their any kind of problems will be resolved between them. Okay, so overall happiness and prosperity will be maintained with regards to the family happiness is concerned. And anything related to shared resources, joint assets, any matter related to that also will also be resolved. So this is a time where overall comfort, with regards to emotional comfort, love and emotional comfort will be maintained, because Venus rules the sign of Taurus. Venus is your eighth lord itself. Okay, now since Venus is your first lord also, and it is transiting in the 8th house, so with regards to that, I will say that you need to also be very careful regarding your health, because here Venus can make you very curious in order to understand the secrets of your life, in order to understand the spiritual part of your life. Okay, so the people who are associated with occult sciences, or anything related to mystery or mystical sciences, for them now it is a very good transit. They will be able to know it, but this can also lead to like overwork, and that can be resulting in some kind of restlessness. So take care regarding your health also. Mars and Ketu, they are transiting in your 11th house now. Malefics in the 11th house in the transit is normally very good. Okay, this Mars and Ketu transit, they will be coming very close to each other as the days goes by in the month of July. So you will see that the people who are spiritually aligned, or any kind of spiritual work, anything related to occult sciences. Okay, so or the people who are associated to healing, so for them this transit is very good. They will be getting good business opportunity, work opportunity. They will be having multiple gains from that. But this also indicates that in your social environment, you need to choose your tribe, you need to choose the friends and social circle. Your social circle, you will see in that within your social circle there can be some conflicts, or you might not feel too much aligned to be in the social front. Okay, so you might feel that from the background you can work. So the people who are working in isolation or in some kind of solo mode, or in the background, so for them this transit is very good. Okay, now you see Saturn is transiting in your sixth house. Now Saturn happens to your Yoga Karaka planet transiting in the sixth house, which also indicates that you need to have a proper responsibility towards your homely environment, and also regarding your creative skills, your education, your learning, intelligence, and towards your children also. Okay, but overall Saturn's transit in the sixth house is considered very good. It brings success, hard work, and success both. It is turning retrograde on 13th of July, so it will give its result from its previous sign also, that is from the sign of Aquarius, where Rahu is transiting. So this indicates that you have to focus more regarding improving your creative skill set, regarding anything for your work. So it indicates that suppose you are expecting some good results from your work, so you need to learn new thing, you need to work hard, means particularly smart work. Here it indicates smart work. Okay, so I will say that retrogression of Saturn on certain grounds it is very good, but on many things there can be some kind of struggles. Like I will say that regarding the health of your children, or there can be some kind of misunderstanding between you and your children, or regarding your intelligence, regarding your creative skill set, you might get all of a sudden very introvert or very conservative regarding your approach towards how you are dealing with people, how you are expressing your your self expression, particularly your creative self expression. Okay, so there can be delays regarding that, but it also indicates that you might get some marriage proposals. But in the existing love and romantic relationships there can be some kind of means some struggles, there can be some conflict, understanding issues between you and your partner. Okay, so these are the things which needs to be taken care of. The people who are expecting any kind of loan, approval of loan or debts, so they might get some success, their loan can be getting approved after 13th of July. But the court cases might get delayed, the people who are any kind of legal issues or something, that might suffer, that might get some kind of delay. Initial success can be there, but overall I can see some kind of delays as the time goes on. Okay, so that's it for the Libra ascendant people. For the Scorpio ascendant people, your Mars and Ketu, the ascendant Lord Mars, and transiting in the 10th house along in conjunction with Ketu in the 10th house, I will say that this transit has to be taken care of very properly, because this can bring a very uh, independent lifestyle towards your work. So there can be some direct conflict between you and your authorities, your superiors. Okay, so you will be wanting to do the work in your own freestyle. Okay, so suppose you are working in some kind of business where you are the business owner, you are the whole and soul of the work, so in those kind of work you are really going to do very good. But suppose you are working under someone, and your work will be improving, your working methodology will improve, but there can also be some kind of conflict between you and your boss, your owners, your authorities. Okay, so regarding that you need to be very careful, because such kind of conflicts can hamper the job, hamper the service. Okay, with regards to collaboration between you and your business partners also, during this particular month, where Mars and Ketu will come very close to each other as the days goes by in the month of July, has to be need to be taken care of, because there can be conflicts between you and your other business partners. With regards to married life, I will say, uh, although Mars and Ketu is in the transit, they will come very close, so this can make a person very detached from the public life, and means they might be following their lifestyle in a more isolated manner. But here Venus will play a very good role, because Venus is transiting in your 7th house, and Venus is the 7th lord itself. So here Venus will bring stability in your household environment, your married life, your also in the professional relationship also. So this can also bring some additional collaborations, although you will want to collaborate with the person or not, that's a different story. But you might see expansion of business, expansion of work, collaborations. Okay, and at the personal home life also you will see, homely environment also you will see that Venus's transit is bringing much more better results. Okay, Saturn is transiting in your 5th house. So Saturn's transit in the 5th house, where it will make you more conservative, and it will allow you to think more deeply towards your creative skill set, your intelligence. But Saturn is turning retrograde in the 5th house. So there can be a possibility that your management skills might get suffer. You might feel that your work is getting delayed. You might also feel that whatever work you are thinking to do, or whatever planning you are making, that those plannings are not taking proper shape in reality. Why? Because Saturn will turn retrograde, and it will give its result from its previous sign, that is the 4th house where Rahu is transiting. And opposite to 4th house you have Mars and Ketu conjunction in that 10th house. So it is a direct conflict between you and your authorities, your office culture, or your boss, your business. So there can be some kind of conflicts, particularly the month of July. You need to be very careful regarding that, I would say. Okay, there can be some kind of disruption at the homely environment, particularly regarding the health of your mother. Okay, so take care regarding the health of your mother. And since Saturn is retrograde in the fifth house, regarding the health of your children also. Okay, or i- overall in the family, I will say there can be some disruptions. So take care regarding each and every matter more closely, more attentively, I would say. Okay, Sun and Jupiter is transiting in your eighth house. Normally, the Jupiter transit here in the eighth house, I will not consider it very good transit. Now, Sun and Jupiter transit here in the eighth house, I will say that take care regarding your health. Okay, overall vitality. There can be some health issues. If any previous health issues are going on, then this transit of Sun and Jupiter in the eighth house can make you more focused and concerned towards your health. Okay, yeah, regarding your finances also, regarding your money and work also, there can be some sudden disinterest towards your work, or you might feel that I am not getting too much interest, or I'm not getting too much zeal to do this work. Even if you like the work, but still you will feel that let me take some break. So that is what it can indicate. So also you have to see that eighth house can deviate us from right path because of the energy of the eighth house. Okay, because it is 12th from the ninth house, so we need to follow right actions, right dharma. Okay, proper dharma. So and right path, I would say. So that is highly essential. Mercury, which happens to be your eighth lord, is transiting in the ninth house. So there can be sudden journeys, long distance journeys, so sudden travels, sudden relocation. There can also be transfers, movement. Okay, uh, sudden gains can also be seen in your life. You will see that sudden gains that can be related to legacy, that can be related to inheritance. Now that will depend upon the dasa and the other scenarios of the chart, but this can be indicated particularly after after Mercury turns retrograde on 18th of July. Okay, so sudden gains can be seen. And since Mercury will be retrograde in the ninth house, so you need to be very careful regarding the expenditures. Don't get into any kind of work which indicates speculation, because loss through speculative work and speculative business can be seen. This is more because of Saturn's retrograde in the fifth house. It is highly to be checked. Okay, Sun will also change the sign. Sun will change the sign on 16th of July. It will come on to your ninth house. Sun's transit in the ninth house is good, I will say, because Sun happens to be your 10th lord and it is transiting in the 8th house. So the moment Sun changes the sign, it will come into your ninth house. It is good, but this also indicates change of job. People who are trying to find a new job opportunity, for them Sun's transit in the ninth house will be highly beneficial. Okay, change of job or movement from one project to another project. Okay, or change of boss is also indicated. Okay, so these kind of things can be seen from this chart of the Scorpio ascendant people for the month of July. Okay, for the Sagittarius ascendant people, your ascendant lord Jupiter is transiting in the seventh house in conjunction with Sun. Now Jupiter's transit in the seventh house, I will say it is a good transit. It will bring good, overall good bonding between you and your partner. But Sun's conjunction here, I will say that you need to have more cooperative environment between you and your partner. Don't hesitate to cooperate your partner, and also to take cooperation from him or her, because here ego will come in between, that why should I help her, or why should he help me, or something like that. Okay, so means don't bring ego classes between you and your partner. That should be the main focus. Otherwise there can be problems, ego battles or unnecessary classes. Because don't forget, after Sun changes the sign, it will go into your eighth house, and eighth house is basically the married life. If seventh house is marriage, then eighth house is Mangalya Bhav, that is the married life. Okay. So don't allow any classes to come. Try to have a proper conversations. Try to forget about your ego and simply cooperate, because seventh house is balance, seventh house is also cooperation, seventh house is also how we partner with other people. Okay, now since sun is your ninth lord and it is transit along with Jupiter in the seventh house, the people who are expecting to move to some foreign places, or who are expecting to expand their business, okay, or they are thinking to find some good opportunity in their life, in that case this transit of sun and Jupiter in the seventh house is highly beneficial, particularly with respect to the people who are going through any kind of favorable dasas. Okay, so this transit is good in that regard, I will say. Mercury is transiting in the 8th house. I will say that Mercury's transit here in the 8th house means you will be focused more in the intricate details of your relationship, your partnership, be it your personal relationship or professional relationship, particularly related to joint assets or shared resources. Okay, sudden gains can be seen, but Mercury happens to be your 10th lord also. There can be sudden disinterest, or there can be work related sudden issues coming up which you are not expecting, which can lead to problems. So Mercury's transit in that regard is not good. The people who are associated with any kind of work related to occult science, for them it is very good. Tantra, occult science, mystical sciences, healing, okay, astrology, for them this transit is very good. But Mercury is turning retrograde on 18th of July. The moment Mercury turns retrograde, it will also start giving its result from the 7th house. So that retrograde motion will indicate that resolution of problems. Any matter which was going into conflict, those problems will get resolved. Okay, you might also get some benefits or favors from your employer. Okay, you are expecting some kind of promotion, you might get it. You might get some appraisals, appreciations. Okay, because seventh house is basically the house of favors from employer, or pad prapti. Okay, or any kind of getting higher position, that is seventh house, because it is 10th from the 10th house. And why I say that, because Mercury after being retrograde, it will give its result from its previous sign also, that is seventh house also, and seventh house is ruled by Mercury itself, so that is the reason it will get more powerful. Change of job is also seen, or getting higher position is also seen. Sun will change the sign on 16th of July, it will come into your 8th house. Okay, so that will be the time where there can be ego clashes between you and your partner. Okay, so on certain matters there can be like total silence, or there can be a very coldness. Okay, so anxiety. So I will say that on such matters there should be proper communication between you and your partner, otherwise the matters on certain grounds can lead to conflicts, indifferences. Okay, heat related health issues can be there, like it can be fever or something like that. Okay, heat related, make sure that you don't get into any kind of work which is not meant to be done. Okay, you should follow proper methodology regarding dharma, regarding work. Okay, right path, I would say. Mars and Ketu is transiting in the ninth house. So, and Mars and Ketu will come very close to each other. So, this indicates there can be some conflicts between you and your father, or you and your guru, or you might not accept the regular way of following the tradition and rules. So, a very good remedy I will give here is that why not follow the scriptures and study the scriptures on your own, because whenever someone will guide you, you might not be able to take their guidance properly. There can be conflicts, you might feel that means you might feel a stubbornness within you regarding your higher spiritual belief system. Okay, so you might feel that whatever you are knowing, that is the ultimate, so there can be conflict. Okay, but only one thing I will say, don't put forward or don't force your opinion on others, particularly related to your religious views, your belief system. Okay, because ultimately that can lead to problems. Okay, so going through any ancient scriptures and understanding it, or any ancient traditional rules and regulations, and knowing it through logic and following it properly through your own knowledge, through your own willpower, that will give you much more better results, because now you'll be able to understand the rules and regulations or traditional customs, backed by logic, backed by knowledge and wisdom. Okay, because if anyone is going to explain you certain things, you might not be able to follow the purpose. Okay, so that might lead to some kind of conflicts. There can be some sudden travels, there can be some sudden movements, but since Mars and Ketu both are there, and they are very fiery, very explosive combination, so journeys can be wearisome, journeys can actually exhaust you. You might feel that the health is not supporting for long distance travels, so I would say that that has to be taken care of according to your will and wisdom. Okay, in the third house, Rahu is transiting. Rahu's transit is very good, I will say. In the third house, it is going to give success in your overall life, in whatever work you're doing. Saturn will turn retrograde. Now you see, Saturn's retrograde is happening in the fourth house, so all of a sudden it will give its result from the third house. Here Saturn's retrograde is very good. There will be sudden relief at your homely environment. Any matter which was creating some kind of heaviness within you, or anxiety within you, or disrupting your mental peace, you will see sudden relief, and that will start happening from the 13th of July onwards, when Saturn turns retrograde. And since Saturn will turn retrograde, so it will give its result from its previous sign, that is third house. So you will see that now you are able to follow your work with proper discipline, hard work, you are having more patience. Okay, you will be able to follow any kind of hobby which was not followed previously. So in that regard also, it is going to give you very good results. Only make sure that particularly when you are driving, or you are moving from one place to another, particularly regarding short travels, also make sure that you don't hurry. Okay, and you don't get into any kind of conflicts, because Rahu is already there in the third house, and Mars is also aspecting your third house, and Saturn is also going to get retrograde, so it will also impact your third house. So your communication skills has to be taken care of, that you don't get into any kind of fights, arguments, particularly in any far away places where you're going, you're moving, or in your transit, like the people who are working in any kind of work where they need to move, they need to travel. Okay, so regarding that, I would say you need to be very careful. Venus is transiting in your sixth house. So normally Venus's transit in the sixth house is not considered that much good, but here Venus happens to be your sixth lord itself. So it will bring resolution in a more kind manner between you, and in any kind of problems you are in your office culture also, you will see that now you are getting support from your subordinates and from your colleagues, from the office environment. Okay, so the competitive nature will decrease, and it will be more like you will feel that the work is getting done of its own, so you don't need to work too much hard. Okay, because of the transit of Venus. But when it requires to too much hard work, where it requires to too much following the competitive arena, in that regard I will say there can be some decrease, there can be some decline. Okay, take care regarding the health of your partner, because Venus in the sixth house can impact the health of your partner. Okay, and also the overall understanding, the relationship between you and your partner. Here particularly here I'm talking about between the you and your married partner, that is in the married life. Okay, so that's it for the Sagittarius ascendant people. For the Capricorn ascendant people, Saturn is transiting in the third house, and Saturn's transit in the third house is very good, because it brings hard work, patience, perseverance, and overall success. Means someone wants to become successful in their life, Saturn's transit in the third house is very good. It's like a trademark transit, good transit. But Saturn will get retrograde this month on 13th of July, and it will also give its result from the second house, that is the previous sign. So what may happen, there can be some delays in work. Means you may start a work and that might get delayed, so it may happen that you are trying more than once, more than twice. Okay, and then the work is getting done, so it means that there can be some mistakes, repeated mistakes. So you have to here Saturn will bring forward your weakness. Okay, so these are the things you need to take care of. Okay, then only the work will get done. Now since Saturn will also give its result from the second house where Rahu is also transiting, that means there at the family environment, at the family level, there can be some conflicts, particularly with the family members, which needs to be taken care of. Money related issues can be there. Okay, so financial investments or money related decisions should be taken care of, or otherwise there can also be money related fraud also. Yes, money related fraud or money related problems or conflicts, arguments can also be there. And normally there can also be some kind of indifferences between the elders of family, and you will see that you have to mediate between many things, because second house is ruled by Saturn itself. Okay, so you have to mediate about many things. So these are the things that to be taken care of, because just opposite to the second house you have Mars and Ketu transiting in the eighth house, and Mars and Ketu will go very close to each other, so there can be sudden anger issues within you. So all of a sudden you might get too much impulsive. There can be impulsive behavior within you because of this explosive transit of Mars and Ketu in the eighth house. So make sure that you don't get into any sudden impulsive behavior. Like suppose there can be some injuries, accidents, or any kind of health issues related to that is fire element, okay, or heat within the health or body. Okay, you need to take care regarding that. This can also impact the bonding between you and your partner, and particularly related to family and in-laws. Okay, so these are the things needs to be really taken care of. Since Mars happens to be your fourth lord and your 11th lord, and it is transiting in the eighth house and along with Ketu, any matter related to home or homely matters, or it can be related to sale and purchase of properties, make sure that you get into that after looking into each and every matter, then only it will give you very good results. There can be sudden delays or sudden like decline in gains, I will say, in the month of July, all of a sudden, because of the Saturn retrograde and the Mars and Ketu transit in the eighth house. It is a combined impact, I will say. So make sure that you don't get into too much expenditures. Work on your budget and finances, very essential. Mercury will be transiting in your seventh house. So here Mercury's transit in the seventh house normally is not considered very good, because it brings normally indifferences, conflicts, too much critical thinking, and Mercury will also. So I will say one of the best remedies is that have a proper conversation with your partner. Although it will bring good results with regards to business and partnerships professionally, but in the personal level there can be too much arguments, too much critical thinking. Okay. 18th of July onwards, Mercury will turn retrograde. So, retrograde Mercury will bring you good results for the people who are expecting some job changes, career changes, or who are finding new job, new career, okay, or start of a new job. So, for them, the retrograde Mercury in the seventh house will be highly beneficial, but this can also lead to disputes in the married life or conflicts, indifferences. The indifferences might get increased because Mercury will start giving its result from the sixth house also. Okay, so the people who are already in any kind of court cases or legal issues, that might get elevated, that might get escalated, actually I will say, to upper levels also. So make sure that you should resolve the things more calmly and not by arguments and too much conflicts. Okay. Sun and Jupiter is transiting in the sixth house. Here, Sun's transit in the sixth house is very good, but Jupiter's transit in the sixth house, I will not say it is not that much great. But you will see that you are getting help from your subordinates, you are getting help from your colleagues in the working environment. Also, you are able to do your work properly and get mutual help. But when it comes to only Jupiter, here Jupiter transit in the sixth house is not that much great for getting the competitive advantage, but Sun's transit is good. Sun's transit in the sixth house is good because it will help you to get success, particularly for the people who are preparing for any kind of competitive exams or something like that. But we have to also understand that Sun will change the sign on 16th of July. It will move to the seventh house. Okay, so that will be the time when Jupiter will be all alone in the sixth house. So that will be the time when you might get too much lethargic or lazy regarding your work. Okay, or you might feel that I'm not getting enough benefits with regards to my competitive advantage. But this also indicates that there can be good reputation between you and your authority. Okay, there can be job opportunities coming. This also indicates that after Sun moves to the seventh house on 16th of July, Sun and retrograde Mercury will be conjunct each other in the seventh house. Retrograde Mercury because 18th of July Mercury turns retrograde. So that will be a time there means you should be very particular regarding your partnership relationship. I'm talking about particularly married relationship. The people who are not in any kind of married relationship or any kind of relationship, for them I will say how you are connecting with other people. There can be too much arguments, critical thinking between you and the people with whom you are connecting. And the people who are in any kind of relationship or married partnership, for them this becomes more important, because the you will see that ego classes conflicts are getting increased. So one of the best remedies that why not you cooperate your partner, and don't hesitate to take cooperation from your partner. It is the best remedy, I will say. You will see the ego and the conflicts all of a sudden the moment you be more grounded, you be more stable, and then you understand your opinions of your partner. And also, yes, opinions, that is, give more respect to the opinions of your partner. Make sure that what he or she has to say, that will give much more better results, I would say. Venus is transiting in the fifth house now. This overall combination of Sun, Jupiter, Mercury, and Venus in the fifth house, that is Sun, Jupiter in the sixth house, Mercury in the seventh house, and Venus in the fifth house. You see, alone Venus in the fifth house is very good for your creative skill set, prosperity, auspiciousness. Okay, good for your children, good for your creative self expression. Very good. It is also very good for your love and romantic relationship. Really very good. But one thing you need to be very careful that this can also lead to some kind of like relationship beyond your marriage. Okay, why? Because in the married life I can see some kind of problems because of the advent of Mercury and Sun. So there can also be some other issues related to marriage. But suppose if you are completely focused regarding your relationship, completely focused regarding your partner, then the Venus transit is going to really help you out. Venus will be transiting the whole of month of July in the fifth house. You will see, even if there are conflicts, Venus's transit will bring control, stability in your relationship, and understanding you and your partner. In that regard, Venus will play a very positive role. If you are completely focused regarding your relationship, regarding your partner, regarding the health of your partner, then you will see how magically Venus plays some positive role in your life. Okay, so that's it for the Capricorn ascendant people. For the Aquarius ascendant people, Rahu is transiting in your first house. So Rahu's transit in the first house is always good. It brings confidence. It brings the ability to face the challenges in the life more properly. So now you are not afraid of anything. You are focusing on the challenges, and you are focusing that okay, what are the opportunities which I can get from the challenges. Okay, but just opposite to Rahu, we have Mars and Ketu conjunction. So this can also aggravate the energy of Rahu in some more explosive way. So you might get angry, you might get anxious, you might get frustrated very easily. So there can be fights, there can be conflicts. This is more essential to understand that Mars and Ketu is transiting in the seventh house. So it is about your partnership, it is about your married life, it is about your professional partnership also, collaborations also. There can be sudden setbacks, okay, with regards to your relationship, with regards to the happiness of the family, particularly at the domestic level also. Okay. Saturn will turn retrograde on 13th of July. Now Saturn is transiting in the second house. So here Saturn is asking you to be more focused regarding and disciplined towards your family matters, towards your finances. But Saturn will turn retrograde. So what will happen now at the family level? If there are any kind of conflicts, if there are any kind of disputes, all of a sudden there can be some relief regarding that. Okay, but this also indicates that there can be some financial decisions going wrong. because Saturn is retrograde in the second house. So you need to retrospect and introspect regarding your decisions, regarding any matter related to your family more calmly. Why? Because Mars is also aspecting the second house by its eighth aspect. There can be conflicts. Okay, you need to be very careful regarding that. After Saturn turns retrograde, it will give its result from its previous sign, that is the first house. That means it will be more about Saturn Rahu indirectly, because Saturn is giving results from the first house, previous sign, and opposite to first house you have Mars and Ketu. So at your personal life also you need to take care regarding your health. Means you will be feeling that any kind of long projects, any kind of work which requires more discipline with regards to foresightedness, or any project which requires more discipline over the time, in those kind of work you are not getting interested, or you are not able to focus on it. So what you need to do, you need to break down the work, you need to make small projects. Okay, even if not small projects, smaller than that also, just break it down. You work on in one by one, like one step at a time, and you will get good results out of it. Okay, this is the at the personal level. With regards to health also, I will say that certain health issues may all of a sudden come to the surface. Okay, because Saturn will bring out the weaknesses. If any health issues are coming, you don't need to get afraid. You need to understand that Saturn is only bringing out, it is working like a mirror. Okay, it is only showing you the things which are there. So you need to work on those things, then only you will see that health will also improve. And seventh house is getting afflicted, that is the health of your partner has to be taken care of. The overall happiness at home needs to be taken care of, because it indicates that um, there can be sudden setbacks. Means I will not say much more, but definitely it can lead to some kind of breakups or separations depending upon other dasas and planets in your horoscope. It will vary from native to native, but at least transit energy is indicating that 10th house is getting afflicted. Why? Because Mars is aspecting, although 10th house is ruled by Mars itself, but here Mars is along with Ketu, so impulsive behavior regarding work can be there. Okay, you might all of a sudden feel that I need better opportunities, and out of impulsion you leave the job, or out of impulsion you take a drastic decisions. This is one way. Another way of looking at it is that Saturn's retrograde will give its result from the first house, that is the previous sign, that is the sign of Aquarius, as if Saturn is sitting over there. So by its retrograde motion, Saturn will also aspect the 10th house. So you will see more responsibilities, and you might feel that why will I do that when I can get more better opportunity. So you might feel that someone is just pulling out some extra work and putting out yours on your shoulder. Okay, so be wise and then follow your work until and unless you find a new good opportunity. Make sure that you don't get in any kind of conflicts or any kind of indifferences between you and your authorities, or it can hamper your work. Okay, and family happiness also. One good thing here is that transit of Venus. Venus is transiting in the fourth house, and it is actually a, means I will say, a very welcome transit. It is actually bringing the stability all through the month of July. Starting from the month of July onwards, Venus has entered your fourth house. This Venus's transit is the only one good transit which actually is bringing that ray of hope. Okay, because at the family level you will see that many things are going on, but still something is creating some positive outcome. Okay, that there can be disputes, there can be conflicts, but some energy is there which is protecting the overall happiness. Okay, so Venus's transit will be like a ray of hope for the Aquarius ascendant people. Sun and Jupiter is transiting in the fifth house. Now, here Sun and Jupiter's transit for the fifth house will be, I will consider it as a good transit. Okay, there can be some ego battles with your partner, but overall for your work, for your career, for the people who are in some kind of self employment, or who are doing any kind of work on their own completely, like freelancer or something like that, for them it is a very good transit. The people who are associated with any kind of work where they need to express their self creatively, or anything related to art, culture, or they are connecting with people, like it can be politics, it can be mass media. Okay, so for them also this transit of Sun and Jupiter in the fifth house highly beneficial. Okay, Mercury is transiting in the sixth house. Now, here Mercury is transit in the sixth house. I will say at the work environment, there can be some manipulations, there can be some critical thinking, but overall the transit is good. But you might feel that at the competitive arena there can be means you might feel that you are not willing to get too much, you are not willing to do too much hard work. Okay, so there can be a situation where you might get results on its own. Okay, so you might get some support from the working environment also all of a sudden. Okay, but when it comes to hard work and hard working nature and patience, regarding that I will say that this transit of Mercury in the sixth house is not that much beneficial. Okay, although Mercury will turn retrograde on 18th of July. So Mercury's retrograde in the sixth house will be beneficial for you because it will bring smartness within you. Smart work will be more. You will be able to learn more creative skills within you, and that will ultimately help you in your work. Sun will also move the change the sign on 16th of July. It will come into your sixth house. Now, Sun's transit is good. Now, you may say that there is a contradicting energy. In one way, Mercury's transit in the sixth house is not that much great, but the moment Sun comes to the sixth house on 16th of July onwards, you will see the work which was not allowing you to focus more because you used to feel that it was very hard working or it will take a lot of time in your life. Okay, time and space. Sun's transit will give you success. You will also be able to focus on your work properly. Only one thing, try to make sure that you take care regarding your subordinates and also follow the rules and regulations laid down to you by your authorities. Okay, make sure that, and you will see that your name, fame, appraisals are getting improving better day by day. Okay, and Mercury's retrograde is also good for you, particularly with respect to sixth house. It will see, you will see that Mercury will give its result from the fifth house. Okay, so more learning, more wisdom, particularly for the people who are associated with education industry, art industry, literary industry. Okay, or anything related to teaching fraternity, means you will see that they are going to get very good results. So that's it for the Aquarius ascendant people. For the Pisces ascendant people, Saturn is transiting in the first house. So normally Saturn's transit in the first house normally brings lots and lots of responsibilities. It demands discipline. It demands patience in life. Okay, it also demands lawfulness, righteous behavior. Now this month on 13th of July, Saturn is turning retrograde. So it will give its result from the first house and 12th house both. That is previous sign. And in the 12th house you have Rahu. So there can be health issues. There can be like if you're already going through any kind of health issues or any kind of means you might feel some kind of restlessness at the subconscious level. So that might get escalated. Okay, so health issues needs to be taken care of. Okay, you might feel that you are taking more time to get recovered. This is one thing. Another thing is that there can be restlessness, there can be extra expenditures. Okay, particularly regarding money management and budget management, you need to be very careful. Another thing is that since Saturn will be giving its result from the previous sign, that is 12th house, by the retrograde motion it will also impact your family house, that is second house. Okay, by the retrograde motion, that is the third aspect from the 12th house. So family matters, or there can be conflict within between you and your family members can also be seen, or there can be relocation, there can be movement from one place to another, that is far away from family or far away from native place. So the people who are expecting some kind of transfer or movement, for them this retrograde motion of Saturn is very good. But there can also be a situation where you might get disinterested towards your work. Okay, so you might either want to leave the job, or there can be conflicts between or indifferences between you and your authorities, so you might not be able to focus more on your work. Okay, so you might feel that even if you are doing each and everything properly, you are not getting enough appreciation, you are not getting enough cooperation. So this is a time where some challenges are there, which challenges needs to be focused properly with respect to your own discipline, that you have to feel that even if I'm not getting any cooperation, still I will do this work, because after Saturn turns direct, those work will pay you back. And suppose if you feel that if I'm not getting cooperation, if I'm not getting appraisal, I will not do the work, then what will happen? This can impact your career, this can impact your job and business adversely. But the people who are associated with any kind of work which requires isolation, which requires independent lifestyle, or which requires like solo work or freelancing, for them this transit of Saturn and the retrograde motion will be highly beneficial. But yes, definitely there will be restlessness, there can be health issues, there can be lack of sleep. Okay, at the subconscious level there can be anxiety, there can be many things going on in the subconscious mind. So you might not like to connect with group of people, or you will like to have a more isolated lifestyle. So spiritual lifestyle. So the people who are associated with any kind of work related to like multinational companies, or moving to some foreign places and working over there, or even spiritual work also for them, or someone who is a healer. Okay, so for them also this transit is very good. Now one more thing I will add over here, now that will depend upon the dasa and the horoscope also for the native. The people who are associated with any kind of work like business, particularly business, there can be certain setbacks. Okay, but they might also get some good results, particularly if they are expecting to collaborate with some kind of work, or any kind of expansion in some foreign lands. For them it is good. Otherwise in normal businesses there can be some kind of setbacks can be seen. Okay, because Saturn is your 11th lord, and 11th house is gains. So, and Saturn is retrograde in the first house, so it will give its result from the 12th house, and 12th house is loss and also foreign lands. So in normal businesses there can be some sudden setbacks, but if it is connected with foreign lands and expansion in areas, or far away areas, or foreign like far away lands, in that case it will be beneficial. Otherwise there can be some kind of setbacks. Here one more thing we have to see, that Mars and Ketu is transiting in the sixth house. So normally malefics in the sixth house is normally very good, Mars. But sixth house is also the house of problems, injuries, accidents, and Mars and Ketu is a explosive combination, it's a very fiery combination. So make sure that you don't get into any kind of fights, you don't get into too much competitive environment, too much competitive nature, because that can lead to like arguments, conflicts. Means a normal conversation can lead to arguments, a normal conversation can lead to means conflicts or indifferences. You will get all of a sudden too much um, stubborn regarding your ideology, regarding your belief system. Why? Because Mars will aspect your ninth house. Your ninth house is your belief system. Okay, so and that can lead to conflicts, and particularly Mars is aspecting your 12th house where Rahu is transiting, so it will always trigger your subconscious mind. Okay. uh, One more thing we have to understand here is that Venus's transit in the third house is good. Here Venus will try to balance the things, because Venus is transiting in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is a earthy sign, it's a fixed sign, and third house where Venus is transiting, third house is social communication, your social environment. Even though all these things are going on, Venus is trying to balance the things, that okay, means you are helping others, you are also getting help from others. Okay, so at the social level, at the social environment, Venus's influence will bring positive outcome. Okay, Sun and Jupiter is transiting in the fourth house. Here, Jupiter's transit and overall presence in the fourth house is like a blessing. First of all, fourth house is a Kendra house, and happiness. It is the home environment. Okay, our vehicles, our luxury comforts. Here, Jupiter will bring good results, I will say. Particularly it will bring good results. So and Sun's transit over here also, on certain matters there can be anxiety, but you don't need to worry, that Sun will change the sign on 16th of July. Okay, and it will come into your fifth house on, means after 16th of July, when Sun comes to your fifth house, that will be the time you have to understand that you don't act on your ego, you don't act uh, on your own belief system, that okay, whatever you want to do, whatever you are knowing, whatever you know, or whatever you believe, that is the ultimate, other things are wrong. then that can lead to problems, or that can lead to particularly problems related to you and your partner. Why? Because Mercury is transiting in the fifth house, and Mercury happens to be your seventh lord, that is partner. So there can be ego battles between you and your partner. In the love and romantic relationships, also there can be ego battles, there can be conflicts, so there can be sudden setbacks, means sudden conflicts. Okay, for the intellectual parts or like creative self expression, for that Sun and Mercury transit conjunction in the fifth house will be highly beneficial, particularly for the people who are in some kind of creative self expression, or where they need to connect with multiple people. Like it can be art, creativity, culture. Okay, it means, or it can be like you are connecting with multiple people, means it is good, I will say. But Mercury is retrograde, turning retrograde on 18th of July. So during that particular time you will see that there can be some kind of misunderstanding between you and your partner, or those who are self-employed, for them also their work might get delayed, their work might get slowed down to some extent. So I will say this is a time to improve your skill set, improve your knowledge, improve your intellectual abilities regarding your work. Okay, so that will give you better results. One more thing can happen is that Mercury retrograde, which is going to happen in your fifth house, also indicates that your management skills might get suffered, because you will see in your day-to-day life, whatever you are planning, whatever you are managing, whatever you are expecting to happen, you are doing your best. Either the work is not done properly, or the outcome is not coming up as per your expectation. Okay, so you don't need to get too much frustrated regarding that. What you need to do is that break down your work and take small steps, that will give you much more better results. Because don't forget, Saturn is transiting in the first house. Okay, so patience and perseverance will be the key. So that's it for the Pisces ascendant people. So that's it from my side. Next time when I come back, I will be coming back with some another interesting content. I hope you have liked this content. If you have really liked this content, tap onto the like button, tap onto the share button, and share it to your near and dear ones. Okay, your comments are also welcome to me. So next time when I come back, I will be coming back with some another interesting content. Till then, I'm signing off today. Thanking you. Bye bye.